I'm saying hello to everyone. My name is Reverend Jerry Hobby. I serve as the spiritual director of Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focused Ministry. Today is a grand and glorious day, and so are you. I love this time of the year. We get to see the beauty of the sun, its energy, we get to see the greenery, and this time of the morning, it's probably the best time. It's nice and comfortable as we begin to warm the field of life. So I'm going to invite you to join us. We're on the Pacific Coast. There are some people that may be on the East Coast. There are some that are in the middle. They're in our Central Time Zone or Mountain Time Zone. I'm inviting you to just drop into the heart and just simply breathe. And with heart focused breathing, I'm inviting us to be fully present in the now, to be fully present in this human experience. And as you're breathing this morning, I invite you to mindfully pay attention to the breath, its movement within every cell of your body. Be aware of its touch within every atom of your being. And let's just sit quietly in the silence for a moment. Our reading this morning comes from 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. Today's reading is entitled Christ in Me. We start first with the biblical reading from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13. Till we all come in the unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. The Bible tells us that the real man is Christ. This Christ is the perfect, invisible presence back of, in, and through every living soul. Just as there is but one God or first cause, so there is but one man. The manifestation of the divine spirit in and through all people. Throughout the ages, this Christ has come with some degree of clarity to those who have meditated long and earnestly upon the nature of the divinity that is in everything. I acknowledge this true self, knowing that it will instantly supply me with whatsoever things I need. I consciously re-enter the kingdom of heaven within me. I sit at a table of the Lord and partake of the divine banquet, the wine of spirit and the bread of life. I know that the Master at the table is my own indwelling Christ, that part of me which is perfect in God, that immortal self which is birthless, deathless, and changeless. I know that my host is God, the living Spirit Almighty. I live, move, and have my being in the divine presence. Today, I permit Christ to be born in my consciousness. Today, I realize that Christ is the universal Son appearing through every deed of goodness, truth, or love. As I unveil the Christ in my own nature, I know that the continents of the same Christ will be revealed to me through others. I enter into my divine inheritance through the recognition of my union with the Supreme Spirit. I'm inviting you to sit with those words this morning. The Christ. A pattern of awareness. A pattern that fulfills the infinite. A pattern that is anchored from the heart space in love. A pattern that works and aligns itself with the lordly presence. Universal law, love and law working together. Our reading this morning comes from 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Parker. Today's reading is entitled Christ in Me. What a wonderful subject and what a wonderful, thoughtful awareness. We start first with the reading from Ephesians. And it reads, this is chapter 4, verse 13. Till we all come in unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto the perfect being, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. I'm going to invite you to open your heart wider, and I'm going to work at translating or updating today's language so that we can grow deeper in our understanding of this awareness of the Christ within us. And this is what Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Parker wrote many years ago. I would say even before I was born. Yet these words are timeless. The Bible tells us that the real being is Christ. This Christ is the perfect and visible presence back in and through every living soul. Just as there is but one God, our first cause, so there must be one presence, power, one being. The manifestation of the divine spirit in and through all people. That includes all of us. Throughout the ages, this Christ has come with some degree of clarity to those who have meditated long and earnestly upon the nature of the divinity that is in everything. Now, here is where we get the opportunity to meditate upon that and to anchor that which is the divinity within everything, including ourselves. If you're here in this sacred space, please unmute yourselves. And if you're on our social platform and you're in a space where you can repeat after me, please do so. If not, let's just embody these words. These are the words that I'm going to say St. Francis of Assisi meditated on. He embodied the essence of the Christ, a wonderful mystic, and a presence in the world. And he's a reminder for each and every one of us that we can be the same. Let us begin. I acknowledge this true self,
I acknowledge this true self,
yourself,
knowing that it will instantly supply me
knowing that
knowing it will instantly
me
supply me
with whatever things I need.
with
with whatever
need.
things I need.
I consciously re-enter the kingdom of heaven.
I consciously re-enter the kingdom of heaven
Within me,
within me.
I sit at a table
I sit at
a table
of the Lord.
of the
Universal
Lord.
law. It's universal law that we're sitting at the table of. And partake of the divine banquet,
And partake of the divine banquet,
the wine of spirit,
the wine of spirit,
and the bread of life.
and the bread of life.
I know that the Master
I know the Master
at the table is my own indwelling Christ.
is my own indwelling Christ.
That part of me
That part of me
which is perfect in God,
which is perfect in God,
that immortal self,
that immortal
the
self,
immortal self,
which is birthless,
which is
which is birthless,
deathless,
deathless,
and changeless.
and changeless.
I see your glow, by the way. I know that my host is God,
I know my host is God,
the living Spirit Almighty.
the living Spirit Almighty.
I live and move and have my being
I live and move and have my being
in this divine presence.
in this divine presence.
Today, I permit Christ to be born in my consciousness.
Today, I permit Christ to be born in my consciousness.
Today, I realize that Christ is the universal presence,
Today, I realize Christ is the universal presence,
appearing through every need of goodness,
appearing through every need of goodness,
truth,
truth,
or love.
or love.
As I unveil the Christ in my own nature,
As I unveil Christ in my own nature,
I know that the continents
I know
the continents
of the same Christ
of the same Christ
will be revealed
will be revealed
through to me through others.
to me through others.
I enter into my divine inheritance
I enter into my divine inheritance
through the recognition of my union with the Supreme Spirit.
of my union with the Supreme Spirit.
I'm inviting you to breathe those words in right now. I invite you to smile. And with this very act of breathing, this very act of a smile, an openness, we acknowledge the divine kingdom, the kingdom of the infinite, that which is changeless, birthless, and even deathless, that always has been and always will be, always accessible, and always fulfilling itself. We acknowledge it and its sacred relationship, its oneness, its part, its union with all of life, all that is life giving. And we move past the inertia, the falsehoods of those things that are seen through the two eyes. And we listen and we enter and see from the inner eye. Many may call it the third eye, but we acknowledge it as the guidepost of our outer eyes. I hear the words, open my eyes that I may see the fullness of life thou hast for me, Spirit divine. And we acknowledge it right here, right now. And as we acknowledge it as that divine presence, a sacred companion that fulfills itself and plays and dances with itself. So I'm giving thanks for that grand companionship unfolding within our lives now. Authentic, genuine relationships. We're giving thanks right now for the divine presence expanding in the Christ consciousness fulfilled within families as they grow and expand and open up to greatness and newness. We're acknowledging it as the sacred host, as the sacred blessing within our finances, within our work in the world, within all the things around us. We acknowledge it. And as we acknowledge it, we simply know that that divine radiance, that divine presence that shines through us it shines through and fulfills itself in others. So we lift our heads up, our eyes, our hearts, and allow for this infinite presence to express itself beyond that which we cannot even imagine. And we are open and receptive. We are mindfully awake. We are attentive, celebrating the beauty of life and its practical fulfillment within this day, within our experience, within every breath, within every part of our being. There is the touch of the divine, the Christ within us, awakened, dancing, and celebrating its beauty through each and every one of us. And I invite you to continue to breathe. I invite you to continue to smile and allow for that divine presence to dance its life within your experience today. Breathe that in, anchor it, and affirm with me these words. And so it is.
And so it is.
And now it is.
And now it is.
Amen, amen, and ashe.
Amen, amen, and ashe.
Today is a grand and glorious day. Remember that you are grand and glorious. I invite you to go into the world honoring that Christ presence everywhere. Honor it in yourself. Honor it and celebrate the goodness. And I want you to know that there is a seed of goodness, regardless of what's going on in your life. When you pay attention, it will expand itself and magnify itself. And if you can't see it in yourself, look into the world. It will show up in some powerful and practical way.
Yeah.
It could show up as the hummingbird, the dragonfly, or it can show up in the smile of a precious baby, or just the beauty of a tree, a leaf. And it reminds you of the beauty that is alive within you and the grace of spirit fulfilling itself. So pay attention. If you blink, you might miss something. Have a blessed day.
Peace and blessings.